What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow me over there on Telegram. That's t.me/KingofFomo1, as well as my TikTok channel, which is listed right there on the screen. All right, so we're going to be talking about the second best front runner to the decentralized exchanges over here on the Binance Smart Chain. These are yield farming opportunities, and if you're looking to be able to make money in the crypto space, this has been probably one of the easiest ways to do it, especially if you're not loaded and you have millions and millions of dollars. It's very, very easy entry fees, and even if you are loaded, like, you can make a lot more from taking risks in these platforms too. Now, I've been diving pretty deep into a lot of this DeFi stuff over here on the Binance Smart Chain, and granted, yes, there is a lot of just bloatware. There's a lot of let's just say crap that's out there. And of course, you can make a lot of money with anything in the Binance Smart Chain right now, just because there's tons of money circulating in and out of everything. But you still should keep in mind there is still dumb money and smart money. And if you start jumping in literally everything, you're going to be jumping into a lot of dumb money projects, and you're going to get dumped on to complete and total nothing. However, with these decentralized exchanges, there's about 5 or 6 of them that are out right now. So I want to make a comparison, and I want to talk about why Goose.Finance is probably the second best decentralized exchange right next to Pancake and why this particular decentralized exchange can really grow. I don't think this is the end, and it's been growing significantly in the past couple of days. If you've been farming with this, you've been making a really good profit, no matter what you've been doing. So we're gonna make some comparisons and really help you guys to understand what to look for with these decentralized exchanges. A lot of times people only look at the price of coins, and you're really missing out if you're doing that. You're not really seeing the actual growth in that. So again, we're going to look at a lot of these different types of exchanges. So you have Goose.Finance right here. We have another one called Yield Nian. We have Cafe Swap. We have Panda Yield, and we have Ice Cream Swap. So like I said, there's going to be tons and tons of crap clones that are out there that are literally going to be here today and gone tomorrow. Even one of these that I've talked about right here is already gone as of right now. And of course, you have your front runner, your number one in this space for the Binance Smart Chain, the one that's been around the longest amount of time, which is Pancake Swap. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the total value locked in all of these exchanges. So with Pancake Swap, obviously nothing is anywhere near touching where Pancake Swap is. $1.6 billion, almost $2 billion in Pancake Swap's total value locked across all liquidity pools and syrup pools in Pancake Swap. So if we go over to Goose.Finance, we're at $13 million locked across all farms. I've talked about this when this was at maybe 3 million, then it went to 8 million. Now it's at 13 million today. Yield Nian is at $1 million total liquidity locked. Cafe Swap, about $4.8 million. Panda Swap, about $1 million. And Ice Cream Finance is currently at 0 just because it got hacked. There's nothing going on in there right now. So as you're watching this video, depending if you're watching this video early or later, that's the main thing that you want to pay attention to, is the total value locked. That's a really good measure of success for these decentralized exchanges. If that total value locked stays close to the same or hopefully goes higher over time, that means people are using it. There's a use case for the coin. It's not just a coin or a program or platform that people are just gonna milk it and suck the money out of. If that total value locked goes down, then that's what you're looking at. You're really looking at just a milking opportunity for people with a lot of money. Goose.Finance has been going up consistently in the past couple of days, while a lot of these other yield farming exchanges have not really been going up or have been going down. Now, there's some reasons why, and we'll talk about that as well. Before we get to that, I do want to look at some of the other statistics here, which is the total coin supply and the total coins burned. So obviously, you want the coins to be burned over time because you want to sustain the value of your coins a little bit. If the coins are not burned, then what's going to happen is the value of the coins that you're going to get is going to continually decrease because your supply is continually increasing. Now, let's just look at the stats first, and then I'll talk about it for Goose DeFi or Goose.Finance. You have 125,000 eggs and a total burn of 91,000 eggs. Now, that's a pretty big number compared to the other ones we're going to see right here. So with Yield Nian, you have a total supply of 98,732, so a little bit less than Goose DeFi. but only 2,000 of these coins are burned. So that's why you might be seeing the price of yield yen going down over time, because they're not really burning enough tokens over time to compensate for the amount of supply and the amount that people are, potentially selling. Then you have Cafe Swap over here. Cafe Swap has a total brew of 166,902 and it burned about 18,000, maybe close to 19,000. So the supply is actually closer to Goose.Finance. Actually a little bit higher. However, even still it's higher, it's burned a lot less tokens. So again, your value of these coins might go down over time. Now, I actually honestly believe Cafe Swap is probably the second or the third best next to Goose DeFi, so I'm not writing this one off quite yet. And then you have Panda Yield as well. So Panda Yield currently has a supply of 462,000, and it looks like they only burned a total of 8.89 tokens. So not too many. I'm not sure what's going on here with the burn supply, but again, that's why you're going to see the supply or the price of the coin go down over time, because that supply is increasing. An ice cream swap got hacked. I'm not sure what's going on over here, but I think they got drained out of everything. So you can see their supply is way high, and their burn is way high as well. So taking a look at this as well, the next thing that I want to mention is the tokenomics are really good for Goose DeFi. So not only do people have a reason to hold the tokens, but they've really contained the price. And what I mean by that is, obviously, the price of all these yield farming coins should go down naturally. You don't really measure the success of these coins by, it's up to $90. I hope it's going to go up to $100 or $1,000 tomorrow. That's simply just not going to happen. And the reason why is because if you're doing it correctly, you should be farming if you believe in the token. If you believe that the price is supposed to go, quote unquote, up, then you should be farming the token, and if not the liquidity pool tokens, and you're going to get free tokens from farming that. So there isn't really a such thing as complete and total free money that goes up in value as well. There's like double benefit. So the single benefit is hopefully the price will stay pretty much the same, and as you're farming and you're getting more tokens, that's where you're going to get your value excuse me, your value from these tokens over time, is the fact that you're getting a lot of the tokens from the farms. Now, of course, if the price goes up, that means that the demand is greatly outpacing the supply, because supply is still being printed. Demand is outpacing that. The price is going up, which is what we're seeing with Goose DeFi. If price stays the same, then that's kind of what should happen. The demand goes up, or the demand stays the same, but the price kind of goes up. And then we also have, if the price goes down, then you have too much supply being printed, not enough demand, and then that's where the coins start to die. So Goose DeFi is doing fantastic. Yield Yen, I think this actually went down about 50% overnight, so we'll see if they can recover. Recovery might be a little bit of a tough spot for them, and I'll talk about some other reasons why for that. Cafe Swap, I think this price has slightly been going up. When I took a look at this, I think this was at about $3. Now it's at $8. So this one, like I said, is probably a second place next to Goose DeFi. We'll see if it continues to grow. Again, look at that total value lock. That's your number that you really want to see here, right there. And then Panda Swap, again, maybe I think third, fourth place overall. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next metric to pay attention to for success here, which is the farms. So the farms is, again, the main draws for a lot of these coins. A lot of people are just joining these things like crazy because you can get some free eggs and free coins from farming here, quote unquote free, because you do have to give something away. But nonetheless, what I really like about Goose DeFi's farms, they do have their own egg farm, which has a 0% deposit fee. It encourages people to really buy up those eggs and support the price even more than the other stuff that I've already talked about. And they also have this 4% deposit fee on every single other farm that they have, which I think is an ingenious addition to this whole system. I don't know if any of the other yield farms do that. So what they're doing with that 4% is they're buying more egg tokens. So the more they're buying, again, they're supporting that price even more. So that means if somebody has, $2 million that they just inject into one of these like super stable coins, this USDT, BUSD pool, with a lot of these other farms, people have been doing that. They've been injecting giant amounts of money in these stable coin pools. And when they do that, they get free eggs to an extreme degree, and then they will just dump the eggs and take the free money from dumping the eggs or dumping the relative coins for the other platforms. But with this 4% fee, it kind of discourages people from doing that because they have to be farming for a certain amount of time before they just continuously dump everything. They have to have a little bit of more of an investment, a true investment into the platform rather than just let me milk this platform for all the money that it's got. Since that 4% fee is there, they have to wait a couple days at least to be able to recoup that 4% before they start making a profit from selling their particular coins. So that's a really, really good plan, I think, to have. Not only does it boost the price because they're buying tokens with that 4%, but it also encourages people to hold for more, like have a longer attention span than 15 minutes and getting like, $2,000 in 15 minutes and going to the next thing. So that's really, really cool. They have a lot of good pools here attached to it as well. So that's nice. They don't have too many pools. I like the way that Goose is set up overall. And on top of that, so we might as well talk about the next thing. On top of that, they also have it set up as to where they won't have to worry about quote unquote rugs. There's sort of a vulnerability with a lot of these other platforms where the platform can rug if they wanted to. Now, obviously, there's some major negative repercussions to doing that. So I don't really expect any of these platforms to pull that rug stunt. However, Goose.Finance might have pulled that stunt. They did have a vulnerability. They did have a hack. So that's something to keep in mind. YieldNyan, let's take a look at their farms. Again, the rest of these farms are pretty much similar, if not the same. They have higher APYs over here. So 10,000% APY, which is really, really good. But again, you run the risk of just depleting the value of your coin if you're giving such a high APY. I mean, the incentive to hold is a lot less. The incentive to sell is a lot more because you're getting a lot more free money overall. So there's a balance that you need to have. Not too little, not too much at the start of these platforms. I think Goose has it at the perfect amount where it is. Some other things to note here is that you have a lot of Nyan pools, which again, it's nice to have the added liquidity, but it also, since they incentivize all the pools so much, they're giving a huge APR or APY for doing these Nyan pools. So that's something to keep in mind, is that there's just a higher chance of money just being extracted out of the system and people moving on to the next thing. That's kind of the smart thing to do if you have a bunch of money. Cafe Swap got a little bit of a better deal going on. So let's go over to their farm and see what's going on over here. I'm pretty sure that their rates are similar to Goose DeFi, so they're not too high. They're kind of at that perfect rate. And you can see right here, they don't have a ton of pools. They don't have a ton of brew pools paying out millions or thousands and thousands and thousands of percentages. But they have a pretty good rate, which is why I think they are kind of next after Goose DeFi. And then you have Panda Yield. So I haven't really been following Panda Yield too much. But again, they also have what I think is a problem of having too many pools of their own token and not enough pools of different tokens. It also kind of decreases the liquidity in it altogether. I mean, you want to have liquidity for other tokens here as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But they haven't really captured that market. All these bamboo pools, they pay out nice amounts of APY, maybe not so nice amounts of APY. Lower APY means lower dumpage, but at the same time, it's iffy. That's kind of what I'm saying. You can see that the total liquidity in most of these pools are a lot lower than you're seeing in other places because people just are saying that other platforms are more attractive in terms of their APY and what they're offering and their potential for growth. And we're not going to look at Ice Cream Swap, obviously, because again, since they've been drained, I don't think any of these farms are working out very well at all. So that is mostly everything that I wanted to cover. That's the main reasons why I think Goose DeFi will continue to grow. And again, and when I say grow, I mean the total value locked will continue to grow. I do think that it's still going to have a lot of volatility. I think that this $30 price range probably will drop down again to $20 and then maybe back up to $35 and maybe back down to $22 and do something like that. But nonetheless, if you're farming, the price shouldn't really matter that much because you're thinking longer term. You're thinking at least out into a week's time span if you think that this thing is going to stick around. And like I said, just pay attention to that total value lock. As long as that doesn't go down, as long as there's no major issues with the platform in general, I think that this thing has a lot of potential. Anyway, that is everything for today, guys. Check out Goose DeFi if you haven't yet. There's a ton of other stuff on the Binance Smart Chain. But of course, do your own research. There's a lot of other traps here too. I mean, there's some stuff with like some huge APY, 40,000% APY. Looks really good at face value, but then you realize all the money's gone the next day. There's a lot of that going on too, so just be careful and happy profits. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.